What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Happy Victory Monday after the Packers 30-13, and it wasn't really that close, beat down to the Seattle Seahawks. Coming to you live from my buddy's spare room in Milwaukee on Wi-Fi, so if the stream is funky, I apologize. I will have to keep this short as I have a flight to catch, but I did not want to leave the great state of Wisconsin without chatting with Packers fans worldwide, and thank all of you who last night who showed up for our watch party live stream with Donald Driver. Absolutely amazing evening. I'm still kind of in shock that it all happened, and it was very surreal, but it was an outstanding time. Did a lot of good stuff for Donald's foundation. Thank you to everyone who donated and just hung out with us all night on the stream. But like I said, did want to chat about it, did want to talk about the Packers' domination of the Seattle Seahawks, a team that had been playing very well over the course of the past month on the road in a place where the Packers had not won since 2008. Excellent stuff from your Green Bay Packers. Hello to everybody in the comments. So good to see everybody. Hope you're all doing well. I'm going to be bending over like a madman to try and work this computer, so I'm apologizing in advance for all the awkward shots you're going to get in this stream. Just listen to the podcast when I'm done. It'll be a much more enjoyable experience. Before I get going, though, you guys know I got to give a shout out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. That's right. Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports made easy. You just select two or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Go to prizepicks.com, use code CHTV, spend $5 on lineups, and get $50 instantly. Prize Picks is available in 43 different states, most importantly, including Wisconsin. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, a Monday Night Football doubleheader. First up, it's the game I really don't care about. That'd be the Falcons taking on the Raiders. I do think the Falcons are going to march up and down the field, though I am a little disappointed in Prize Picks because as of this morning when I was making my picks, you couldn't do more than one interception for Kirk Cousins. I feel sad that I wasn't able to hammer that over, but I did want to go. You see Robinson there definitely getting more than 80 yards. I think Darryl Mooney's going to have a big night. Brock Bowers is going to be like the one shining spot for the Raiders, no question about it. Trey Tucker, don't think it's going to be a good night for him. But then in what I'm calling the Hater Bowl, yeah, I gotta hate watch this one tonight. Vikings, Bears, and I guess as a Packers fan, you kind of have to root for the Bears tonight. It feels dirty to say it, but I do think Keenan Allen, that whole offense is going to be hard to watch. On the Viking side of things, I think Aaron Jones has just not been as productive as of late. Obviously, the fumbles have been an issue. I don't think he gets going against a still pretty damn good Bears defense. Do you think Caleb Williams throws a pick, though? That Vikings defense, we know it's legit. It's going to be fun to watch, though. I will tell you that. I get on board. Send me your lineups. You guys have been doing it. It's great. There's a link in the description of this video. Hit it up. Use code CHTV. Get your lineups in. What's going on, folks, in the comments? Packers fans worldwide. We got so many people chiming in already. What's up, Rick? Thanks for the super chat, man. What did you see that the Hawks did differently to slow down Jacobs in the second half? That's a great question. I did just talk with Andy Herman about this. I'd highly recommend checking out the new Let's Talk Football. It just went live about a half hour ago here on the channel. I didn't see anything particular, like pinpoint, they are obviously putting numbers in the box or doing a different kind of approach as far as, blitzing defensive backs or anything like that. I have to go back and look at the tape, like coaches' tape in particular, and I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet today. I've done one rewatch of the broadcast. It's really hard to say, though, with any certainty what they were doing other than just getting off blocks and flowing to the football a lot better. I do think Leonard Williams and company in the middle just played a lot better in the second half of the game. But it is something where it feels like, and I said to Andy, I can't really say what it was, but it sure seemed like they adjusted really well in the second half to Jacobs in the run game. Now, it might have been some of the calls that, Matt and company made. Perhaps there was a different approach on the Packers side of things. It did look like they were trying a few new or other wrinkles rather than some of the more straightforward stuff. So, again, I have to really go back and look at it. I haven't had a chance to yet, though, so I apologize for that. Crash, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags. Can you text coach and tell him that 10 clapping is a huge tell that he's not actually going to snap the ball? I love trying for a free 5, but I'm glad you love it because I hate it. I'm so sick of it. If they go out there one more fourth down and go through that charade of, oh, we're going to snap the ball, and everyone in the whole building and everyone watching around the world knows you're not going to snap the ball, I think the defense knows you're not going to snap the ball too. I mean, I get it. I get the idea behind it, but I fucking hate it at this point. Just either run a play, pick up the first down, or punt. The charade is over. It's done. You can tell this has boiled my blood a little bit. Joe, thanks for the super chat, man. Nothing better than going on the road and shutting up the hostile crowd. Just wish the Packers offense could adjust to the opponent's adjustments quicker. Yeah, I think there's something to that in the second half, but I also think, look, sometimes it's just you're not executing. And I don't think the Packers executed very well in the second half until they needed to put the dagger in, and then they did. But I think, yeah, there's certainly adjustments that were made by Seattle. But I also think, yeah, the Packers just didn't kind of dot their I's and cross their T's when if you're even off just a little bit in your execution, other teams are going to take advantage of that, especially a team that had been playing as well as the Seahawks have over the course of the last month in particular on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm with you. It's frustrating, right? No question about it. But I think, the Packers are part of that equation, not just, they adjusted and we couldn't overcome it. I think, they had things drawn up that on paper, again, look great, but they just didn't execute. Robin, how are you, man? Thanks for being a Care of the G Club member. Nags, if the team cleans up a few things and gets healthy, they can compete with anyone in this sport. JJ is him. You are not lying. I think it's no question that you look at this team as a whole with guys getting healthier. You certainly saw the addition of Cooper last night made a world of difference on the defensive side of the ball. You're no doubt going to be getting guys like Jair Alexander back at some point. That's going to help bolster things. And look, there's still Luke Musgrave and maybe even Marshawn Lloyd to add into the mix down the stretch. So the fact that they're playing as well as they have over the course of the last, say, 4 or 5 games, basically, essentially since the bye week, right? And they're still hopefully adding guys, talented guys at that. Yes, there's zero doubt this team can play with anybody, can beat anybody, but that also raises the specter of they can also beat themselves at any point. And I think we saw some of that in the second half. Again, the lack of attention to detail, the lack of execution can rear its ugly head. And it's fine when you're far ahead, you've got control of the game, and the Packers certainly did, but it can bite you, as we saw it happen in the Detroit game, where if you're not executing, you are making the kind of mistakes that this team has been prone to make, it's going to cost you. But what I did love about this game is how they took control. I mean, right out of the gate, and not just, okay, yeah, they marched down the field, scored a touchdown, obviously what you want, right? But it was very clear, at least it felt clear to me, that they reacted to what Detroit did last week on the road as far as putting guys in the box and really firing numbers at them and almost taking advantage of their cadence. Packers responded by going tempo, and it wasn't up tempo, it wasn't no huddle, but they were in and out of the huddle up to the line and snapping the ball rather than surveying the defense, go like trying to maybe make an adjustment. And they got to some of that later, but that first drive in particular, and I think that really the first 2 drives, they were out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage, snapping the football, not allowing the defense to get a read on what they were doing, not trying to react to what they were presented. They just went. They had their play. They were going to snap the ball and get after it, and they did. And it was really effective in getting them on the front foot, producing points right out of the gate, and essentially putting them in control of the game after the second series. I mean, by the time it was 14-0, there was no looking back. And that's a nice adjustment by LaFleur and his staff to look at what went wrong on the road the week before and how can we try and maybe not correct it, but like play off of that and make sure it doesn't happen again. That was a really nice adjustment. What else we got here? We got Joe's Home Theater. What's up, man? Double D on the watch party. Awesome. A true Packer. Yeah, I said it at the top, man. It was surreal. It was absolutely surreal to have Donald with us and to be with him and talking about the game and football and his career and the foundation and all the great work he's doing. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in because it was a blast. Really appreciate it, man. Nick Vandehey, what's up? Thanks for checking out the stream on Facebook. Nice win in Seattle, but did we get QB pressure because Seattle O-line is sus? I mean, somewhat, no question about it. But I also think you saw guys take advantage of players who are pretty damn good individually. I think we saw Brenton Cox Jr. Basically dog walk a top 15 pick into the lap of a quarterback. It's at some point, yes, you certainly look at it and take into account the level of competition. But we've certainly seen this team face bad offensive lines this season and done precious little against them. That you can only play the man across from you, and the Packers took advantage of it. And hopefully that builds and builds throughout the year where, yeah, they're going to face some tougher competition. They're going to face some tougher O-lines, but hopefully this builds into their not only their confidence, but what they know that works as far as some of the stunts they ran. You saw some simulated pressures, but you also saw games between the defensive end and the defensive tackle. I think they can, continue to build, continue to utilize a lot of disparate parts. You saw everyone really getting involved. I mean, all across the front, from the ends to the D tackles to the linebackers. I mean, you find more ways of working that it doesn't matter what competition level you're talking about. That's stuff to build on. That's the continuity that you want, especially this time of year. Heading into the home stretch here of the season, you want to be playing that type of ball, no matter who's across the line from you. What else we got here? We got Ryan. Thanks for the super chat, man. Why doesn't Matt LaFleur value timeouts and might come back to haunt him in the playoffs? Ryan, this has been a time-honored tradition of Matt LaFleur wasting timeouts. I've legit been somewhat joking, somewhat seriously talking about it since his first year in Green Bay. I mean, I was in Green Bay a couple weeks ago, and he made a joke about it with me because he knows I've been talking about it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why he hates timeouts. There's a clip from when he was on Transplants a few years ago where I legit asked him, why do you hate timeouts? I don't know, man. Only he can answer. What else we got? Ayahuasca. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for the super chat. How did Stokes play? Everyone is asking the soft questions when the real question is how much 21 is playing, Halfley, or is something witchcraft to make the coaches see something that isn't there, probably something else. You know what? You're somewhat joking, I get it, but I don't think there's a whole lot to hate on when it comes to Stokes last night. Yes, he got beat on occasion. Every cornerback does, and of course Stokes is going to. But man, I thought he played overall at a high level. I mean, we mentioned it on the watch party. Like, what I love about Stokes is you got to have this mentality if you're going to play in the league at that position. He's going to get beat. He comes back the next play and sticks his nose in there in a run play and gets in on the tackle. Like, he's a willing tackler. He's got some physicality to him, and that's all I can ask. As far as like him continuously being out there, Coach was asked this past week, are you going to continue with the rotation with Valentine and Stokes? And Matt indicated, yep, that's the plan. So as far as what they see, I don't know. They clearly value his experience, the fact that he has been working with them since the spring, right? And they want to at least try and utilize some of that football knowledge, scheme knowledge, etc. Other than that, don't have a great answer for you because I'm on record. I put a clip up, I think 2 weeks ago, saying whatever Stokes was going to do in the league, he's done it. With Valentine, at least you're getting somebody who's developing, a younger guy who's got a lot of work ahead of him to grow and continue to get better. And hey, congrats for Valentine's first NFL pick last night. Maybe that starts to get him on the field a little bit more. But yeah, as far as how Stokes remains on the field as much as he does, I wish I had an answer for you. Oh, Tiggs, what's up? Thanks for checking out the stream on Twitch. Random Packer of the Day, Antonio Morrison. Now that's a pull. That is a pull right there. I love it. What else we got here, folks? Erwin Lee, what's up? Nags, what would you like to see from the team for the next 3 games as we gear up for the playoffs? Consistency, no question about it. Something that we talked about a lot last night on the stream. There's always seemingly like a stretch during any of these games, wins or losses, where Packers just seem to stub their toe on the offensive side of the ball. That consistency that they found towards the end of last year still seems to elude them this season. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what's necessary to make that change, but it is something that could happen at any moment. And I know people say at some point you are who you are. This is your identity. It's not going to change. But man, we've seen it happen in the NFL where teams suddenly find a way of working at just the right time, and you just got to win what 3 games, and then you're in the big one, you know. So I don't doubt for a moment that those frustrations are what they're going to try and be working on over these next 3 games, this next Monday night game in particular, as far as finding consistency on offense. And maybe that is somewhat, you heard Matt after the game, if you didn't, I'll paraphrase, he really, really went after himself about the end of the first half because the clock management there was downright bad, right? And those are things where the coach is involved too. The game plan is part of it. The flow of the play calling is part of it. And hopefully Matt can, work off of what worked well in this game and continue to evolve as a play caller and designer for this team and this group, because you can see how potent they can be. But sometimes, man, it's hard to watch and it is frustrating. And those are the things that I think more than anything, they've got to work on over the course of these last 3 games before they hit the playoffs where it's win or go home. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. They put up 30 again and left points on the field. That's what's crazy, right? I was just talking to Andy about this. The fact that they are putting up 30 a game, they've put up 30 the last 4 games, and we all saw how kind of herky-jerky it was in the second half. They left at least 2 more touchdowns on the field there. This is a team that if and when that starts to click and they start to finish every single drive, and you never finish every single one, but man, yeah, they're going to be putting up like 45, 50 points. So to me, it's exciting. The fact that possibility still exists and it could potentially still be out there. That's what I'm looking for. No doubt about it. What else we got here? Yeah, we got people talking about the Lions injuries. I mean, to quote Matt LaFleur, no one cares. I get it. It sucks. No question about it. But, the Packers won a Super Bowl with 15 guys on IR. I don't know what else to tell you. No one cares. Win with the guys you got. It sucks, man. I'm not trying to take it away from the guys themselves, the players. Absolutely gutted for anyone from Hutchinson to now I know Montgomery is out to everyone in between. They lost another couple, like 3 defensive players. I mean, that sucks. It's tough. But no one cares, man. The only thing anyone cares about is who's hoisting Lombardi at the end of the year. That's it. I don't know what else to tell you. Grimpy, good question. When will Musgrave play? Well, they opened his 21-day window last Wednesday. So they have 21 days from that Wednesday afternoon to activate him to the 53-man roster or shut him down for the year. Obviously, he didn't go last night. I suspect there's a decent chance that he is activated for the next game, but it could potentially even be out to the Vikings game. We'll see. I know Matt said that last Wednesday was the target after he had the surgery, and that they had hoped to have him on the practice field starting this past Wednesday. So they seem to be on schedule. But as far as how close he is to being activated, I don't know. And now he's got to get through another week of practice. Hopefully doesn't suffer any setbacks. Medical team thinks it's good and he's up. But we'll see. He should be close, but we'll see. Ralph, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Hope Love didn't destroying groin again. There was no reporting around that. Certainly no kind of indication from Love. So we'll see. We'll get an injury report on Wednesday. But right now, I'm not too concerned about it. All right, everybody. I'm going to have to get going. Cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor and hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Pack, go.